Hello, welcome back. Of course, I'm Teacher Kent, coming at you from a different location. This is my kindergarten. I have sometimes kindergarten TPR gestures. This is one of the kindergartens I teach at. I've been teaching here for, I couldn't believe it, almost 16 years now. I've been teaching this kindergarten. So this is one of my clients. Okay, so let's see here. Today we're going to be reading How the Grinch Stole Christmas, one of my favorite books as a kid. So I'll read it to you. It's kind of long, so hopefully we can finish it in one video. Before I start, don't forget to share these with your friends and family so they can read the Christmas books with you. And if you have the book, don't forget to buy it at home. This is a hard copy, so it's a little more expensive, but you can pause the video and buy it at home so you can read it. It was one of my favorite Christmas books as a kid. I love Dr. Seuss anyway, but this is not my favorite Dr. Seuss book. Probably top 10, maybe. There's a lot of other Dr. Seuss books I like, but for a Christmas book about Christmas, it's very interesting. Yes, yeah, Dr. Seuss is really good. He wrote a lot of great books for children. So please read them. Like Cat in the Hat is a very famous one, which I love. Okay, so let's see. This is a great book about Christmas. There's also a movie about it, so please watch that movie as well. So here you go. So we're going to talk about Grinch. This is when he was a kid. So I'll show you the pictures and I'll read so I can read quicker. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. Yes, that is true. Here. Oh, he's not happy. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. Yes, season, reason, so it's rhyming. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, his shoes were too tight. Maybe his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. That's a famous story about Grinch. You can see here in pause, but of course it's rhyming. All small. Yes, tight, and what is it? Tight, right tight. Yes, okay. So yes, his heart is 2 sizes too small. So you watch the movie, they'll show what happens later with his heart. Okay. Here we go. So I'll show you first, and I'll read for you. Yes, he's looking down on Whoville. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour Grinch frowns upside down. Your frowns your smile upside down. As the warm-hearted windows below in their town, for he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. Yes, so again, it's rhyming. Beneath and reef, for example, town and frown. Yes, it's a great book to teach kids. Okay, and you can see here, he's looking down on Whoville. So this is Whoville town. So, and they're hanging their stockings. He snarled with a sneer, "Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here." Then he growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously drumming. "And I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming." I agree with him. Yes, for tomorrow he knew. So he wants to stop Christmas from coming. So by the way, it's a lot of reading, so I'll put in the notes for this video if you don't have the book at home, so you can read too. So because I want to show you the book, and then I'll read it to you, so it'll be quicker. So it'll be natural speed instead of trying to read it backwards. All the Who boys, where do we stop? For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and then, oh the noise, noise. That's one thing he hated, the noise. You can see they're making a lot of noise with their noise crackers. Okay, then, whoa, interesting. We have a big food amount. Yes, we'll find out what a big food party is. Then the Whos, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast. So they'd eat and eat. And they'd feast, and feast, and feast, and feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. Yes, so they'll feast on Who pudding and Who roast beef. Yes, feast is, of course, a big party to eat a lot. And then you can see they're so happy. Yay, they're going to sing. They're so happy. And then they do something they'd like the least of all. He'd like the least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing, ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. Yes, singing. They'd sing and they'd sing. Yeah, you can see they're singing here. They're singing and they're singing. And they'd sing and they'd sing and sing, sing, sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Yes. Why? For 53 years. Oh, so Grinch is 53 years old. For 53 years, I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Yeah, so he has to think. He's thinking. So he's thinking. He's putting on his thinking cap. But how? How can I stop Christmas from coming? So, by the way, the word of the day is Easter bunny. Not mentioning Christmas, but white Easter bunny ears. Okay. Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. Ooh, you can see he's going to dress up as Santa Claus. This is his idea. Yeah, and he's going to make a reindeer out of his dog. Yes, I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And he made a quick Santa Claus hat and coat. And he chuckled, ha ha ha, and clucked, ha ha. What a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and hat, I look just like Saint Nick. Yeah, he looks just like Saint Nick. Oh, all I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, and then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. So he made the reindeer. He made Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And you can see now he's going down to the town to do some damage. Yeah. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, giddy up, giddy up. That's how horses go fast. And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. That's lay a snooze. They're sleeping in their town. You can see now he's at a Who house. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square. This is the stop number 1. The old Grinchy Claus hissed and hisses, and he climbed to the roof and empty bags in his fist. Yeah, so he hissed, empty bags in his fist. He's going to climb down the chimney like Santa Claus. Oh, so you can see he's in there. He's already stealing the stockings. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Yeah, so he's taking the stockings. Uh-oh, now he's taking the decorations. So sad. Then he slivered and he slunk with a smile most unpleasant. Around the whole room, he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorns, by the way, use your finger reading, popcorn and plums. And he stuffed them in his bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Yes, he stuffed them up the chimney. You can see he's taking all the presents. It's so sad. He's making Christmas disappear. Uh-oh, he's not done. He's going to take the food now. Yes, I see you here. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef. He cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. Yeah, he took their last can of Who hash. Oh, this is all that's left. A very sad tree. Yes, so you can see here, he's stuffing up the chimney. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. So he's going to stuff up the tree next. Uh-oh, as he's stuffing up the tree, somebody came. So who is she? That's the important part of the story. So And the Grinch grabbed the tree. He started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small who. Little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. Yes, she's not more than 2. She's going to talk to him. Okay. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? Yeah, why is she so sad?" Okay, so she's so sad. Okay, next, let's see. Oh, so he's going to talk to her. He's going to chat with her. So this will be an interesting chat. But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick. "Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. Uh-oh, there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here." So he's going to fix it and bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her on the head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Yeah, so he sent her to bed with the cup. Oh, then he's going to take even the log. It's sad, almost nothing left. And then the last thing he took was a log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls, he left nothing but hooks and some wire. Yes, you can see it. So, and the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. You can see even the mouse. The mouse is disappointed. It's too small for the mouse. You can see here, he's saying goodbye to the mouse. Then he did the last thing to the other he did the same thing to the other Who houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who mouses. Yes, so he did it to all the houses. Look, he stole all this from the town. So sad, so he left the town with all their items. Okay, it was a quarter past dawn, so the sun just woke up. All the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze. When he packed up his sled, packed it up with presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsel, the trimmings, and the trappings. Oh, then he brought it to the top of the mountain. 3,000 feet up, you can see the town is at the bottom of this hill. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode his load to the tip top to dump it. Pooh-hoo to the Who's, he was Grinchious humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I just know how they'll do. I know what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo, boo-hoo, because he stole Christmas. He stopped it from coming. He's listening. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. Then he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But that sound wasn't sad. Why, that sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was very merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Yeah, so he was surprised down at the bottom of the mountain. Wow, everybody's singing again and still happy even Christmas didn't come. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. Wow, so he was surprised, so he's disappointed. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages or boxes or bags. Then he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come with us from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. A little bit more. That's right. So he was changing his attitude about Christmas. Okay, so we have 2 more pages. Oh. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say, that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day, and the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and then he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And then, yes, so he's bringing everything back because he's changed his attitude about Christmas. And then, oh, here we go. Yeah, he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef. So he carved the roast beef. The end. Yes, very happy ending. Sad beginning, sad middle, happy ending. I hope you enjoyed that book. Please watch during Christmas. Please share with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe. Watch these other popular videos on our channel. And until next time, we hope your English is improving every day. See you. See you.